Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome back to Talk Stocks with B. Let's get it. We have had some correct plays that went down last week with SPY. We had some vicious moves to the downside. Remember, we talked about in the video, we talked about SPY, Apple, Tesla, and we got our price targets hit to the T with each and every one of those particular stocks. So, what do I see for this week? First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Let's just talk about stocks. That's what I'm here for. We want to see exactly where the market is heading. We try to do our technical analysis on Webull. So please, again, like the channel, subscribe, and join us on this journey of making money together. First thing I wanted to take a look at is the economical calendar for the week. Let's see what we got going. Monday, obviously, we had Jackson Hole this weekend, so that should be interesting for the market to see how futures open up. But we have some, for me personally, I like to take a look at these to know exactly what to expect for the week ahead. This will help you. Oh, we have the PCE this week. So, oh, well, this was last week. Okay. Here we go. Sorry about that, team. So it looks like a pretty. I mean, we have some things going on, but we definitely don't have any market movers per se. But we do have some Fed speaking, and typically, Feds do have a can move the market in either directions intraday for sure. So that's definitely something we need to take a look at. Yeah, they can move the market on any given day, and it's nice to know exactly how some of these Feds uh, if they're bullish or bearish. Typically in Fed term, are they dovish or hawkish? So please pay attention to that. But let's get right into it, exactly why we're here. So like I said, we like to do TAs on Webull. We like to show people that you don't need to buy a a a a expensive brokerage account to actually trade stocks. You can do it on Webull. You can chart well nicely on Webull. You don't need to pay for other charts, other websites where you have to pay for to chart and stuff like this. Webull gives you everything that you need. As you can see, we have exactly what happened in the market on Friday, which was very, intense, and we had some nasty ups and downs. But we called it out. We talked about exactly what we wanted with SPY. If you go watch some of my previous videos, I'll make sure to link those. We talked about SPY. I came in on Monday and I was like, okay, so SPY gap down. And what I was expecting is I wanted us to see SPY retest this line. And so what SPY ended up doing was creating a channel. It created a channel and consolidated. So pretty much I was bullish on the market until we touched this line. I said we wanted to wait for SPY to hit this channel. This channel dates back to over here. We broke above it and then we came back inside of it. And I wanted to see SPY, pretty much test this channel. So we were playing to the upside. And then when we got that very green candle on Thursday, it was time to short. And if you follow my play by play, you would, if you, let's just say you had $1 million, you'd probably have like $5-10 million just from, following this trend that I spoke about. And we got those price targets. So shout out to SPY. I want to give the market a chance to open tomorrow and to dive deep into exactly where I see the market heading. But let me just say this. I am bearish again for this week. I would not be surprised if there's another gap down tomorrow. But if there's not a gap down and you're looking for opportunity to get into shorts, here's what I'm looking at. Okay, so as you can see, this was the CPI right here, right? We consolidated, CPI came out this day, and we just, went down. And this is another CPI, and we pretty much consolidated, and then we went up after CPI came out, right? Now this one right here, look at this vicious red candle. And yes, I do use TAs. I like to make the chart a lot more clear for you guys. So honestly, you don't really need TAs. There are important, like for instance, SPY. If you would have got that TA, this was the 200-day right here, right? You could have used that to short SPY, right? You can see exactly where SPY stopped at. But I tend not to use it when I'm just talking about stocks. But as you can see, yeah, we touched that line and we just pretty much crashed. So what I'm looking at for this week is that the same way we retested this trend right here, this consolidation that we did throughout the week of last week, we broke that, right? And so I am looking for SPY to retest that. So that does mean lower highs. So we're talking about like 408, 407 as it gets deeper, right? So we want to see a test of this line. And if you are short, that's where you want to get in. So let's just say the market opens up red tomorrow, and you are already not in. I would be careful in jumping in on shorts, okay? This is a very delicate level right here. So pretty much what I'm saying is that if you need an opportunity to get in, we could. And another thing that we can see this week, we could have some fake outs where the market gets back above this trend. Eventually, I do expect by Friday that we crash and we drop below 400. I will add new lines on this in my next video so we can watch some levels. But as of right now, if you are not holding shorts, because I would not be surprised if the market opens up red, I will be cautious and getting in on shorts on Monday. That being said, if we take a look at the daily with SPY, and I want to get back to what I was talking about right here. We see the CPI right here, and then we broke out, and then we made it to this level right here. But we made it to this level on the first day. I remember this candle. It was right here, this bullish candle right here, and then we still went up the following days. This is where I took my shorts this day right here. So I actually was intimidated by this next daily candle. Yeah, so this vicious red candle, we broke these levels. We broke them in one day. As you can see from this high right here, from this candle high, what will be the high, right? Let's look. This candle was 415. Oops. Now can I bring that back? This candle was 415. And this candle was 419. So that just tells you of a monster drop that we had. And so I'm honestly, this candle is super bearish. So I'm just looking for a retest to the above level. And now I'm looking for another rejection because there's no way we're going to make it past these consolidation levels right here. So that's why I'm bearish on SPY again for the week, and furthermore, and I do expect furthermore downside. Now let's go on to our next stock. Let's talk about NVIDIA, because NVIDIA, we've been talking about this play, and it gave us some vicious moves, right? And because we had that nasty fake out, just looking at the 2 hours. So this was the dump when EPS came out, this candle right here. This was the EPS dump. And what it did, it was that it reversed throughout the next day. And, usually reversals with volume are a very great indication for bulls, right? But like I said, this is a bear market rally. And we all know that, I tend not to talk about stocks in particular. I just like to talk about TAs, but NVIDIA is very important to understand exactly what happened. Their earnings were terrible, right? So this is what happens when they gave out pre-earnings. So it crashed right here, and it went down, and then out of nowhere, it had a monster run and it reversed, right? This is exactly what happened over here. Terrible EPS. This was the pre-EPS. But basically what I was saying is that it pretty much didn't move after this right here. It just went back up. So you could tell there was more shorts to come. So after it made it back up above, it went down, and then it broke this, and then it just went back up. And honestly, I gave you the chart. If you go look at my Thursday video of last week, you will see that I said this was the day to shorten the video, because whatever it gave back, I said exactly this. I said whatever it gave back, it needs to give back that and even more. And we got those levels. I was expecting 168. I was expecting, if you go look at the video, I was expecting to just lose this level, 160. What level was this? This was 163. And that's what I was expecting, and we did. We dropped below that. So shout out to my TA on that, and I'm very proud of catching that short move. And I hope you guys did join in. Tesla, Tesla had a lot of volume heading the day of when the split happened, and they were bullish to the upside. And so what we can see is that I want to take a look at the weekly, because I want to show you exactly what's going on with the weekly. Okay, so this is the long-term trend of Tesla, right? As you can see, we've been going up, but then we went below, then we got back above, and then now we're back below again. Look at this. If you I don't want to tell you the chart, but what you can see what's happening with Tesla. So now Tesla, we may see a consolidation from Tesla right here. So it's already bearish, right? It already broke this wedge going up, this bearish wedge. And so now it's starting the weekly outside of this wedge, which, means for more downfall. So we could see Tesla drop to around 250. But what's most likely to happen, especially with Tesla, we can see a volatile period. We can see Tesla first retest this level right here, and then shoots back up and then consolidate and touch this line right here, because we definitely need some more touches on this line. And I can see Tesla probably touching this line again in the near future, maybe by the end of the year, and then coming right back down and consolidating around this level eventually before giving out, and we could possibly see 200 or even less than that. So Tesla, if you want to get into Tesla, you need to look at these levels right here. I would say 200 will be a good buying opportunity if you're interested in Tesla. But for right now, this week is bearish. So we need to watch it and be careful. But Tesla is a volatile stocks. It's hard to predict, no matter what the chart says. But if you want to go off a TA standpoint, short Tesla. Just be careful this particular week, especially since the chart is looking super bearish. That's exactly what market makers want you to see. So be careful. I would say if you want to short Tesla, just, make sure you give yourself some time on your puts. Let's talk about Apple. We wanted Apple to test this trend right here. And we actually never got a test of that trend. That line just kept getting higher and higher for Apple to reach. Actually on the daily, it did touch it, right? Looking at the daily, so we wanted Apple. Gosh, I hate when I do that. We wanted Apple to retest. So it just pretty much gave out right here. Let me just show you guys what I'm looking at, okay? So Apple broke out above here, consolidated, then broke above, and then it went to the moon, right? And then it touched this trend right here, 1, 2, 3, and it closed above one day, and then made a new, a lower high, and that's when you were supposed to enter right here when you saw that lower high, and then it just gave out, boom, boom, boom. So once it broke both of these channels and closed under this, what I wanted to see is that I wanted to see Apple retest this line. So it retested it right here, made them do a low, but then it gapped up the next day, right? And I was telling you guys, that's like it could see probably 172. Apple ended up seeing 171. It retested. It couldn't even make it back to that line, so I was correct. and it just gave out. And I gave you the price target for those two. I said 164, 163, and we got those price targets. Like I said, if you've been watching my videos all week, I gave you the entry, and I still don't see an exit for us. I still think there's new lows to come, especially with Apple, especially since it broke this right here. So I'm looking for Apple to test this candle over here this week, which is 161. So shout out to Apple. Thanks for giving us some money. Sorry that you got to go down, but we do appreciate the funds. Next stock I want to talk about. We talked about Apple. We talked about Tesla. We talked about SPY. We talked about Nvidia. I wanted to dive into Snow because Snow had a monster week. And guess what? It still ended the week green. Well, not necessarily green. What I mean is that it still ended that Friday dump green, which is incredible. So is that bullish for Snow or is it bearish? Well, let's take a look at the chart using Webull and then see exactly what it's providing us. So let's start with the weekly. I want to start doing that with you guys where we work from the weekly, we go from the daily, and then we go down into within hours and then to within the minutes to see exactly what we're looking at. So let's take a look at SPY right here, right? I mean Snow. So we got those touches right there, and we broke out right here, and then we broke this long-term resistance right here, right? And then we gave it back, and then EPS came out, and then boom. But one thing I wanted to point out is that it never lost this breakout right here, right? So when it broke out right here, it always held it. That's this line right here, this line. So look, it touched it, and touched it. Well, it didn't touch it right here. So it never gave out. So let's dive in a little deeper. Let's look at the daily. So the daily, as you can see, is that it did give out in here, but you got to look at the weekly. So the weekly always tells a different story. So if you look at the weekly, you would know like, oh, it's still above, right? And that's exactly what happened. And it just had a monster move. Now, remember, I gave you the levels for Snow, and I told you exactly what Snow, what levels when the EPS came out, which I believe was Wednesday or Thursday. I told you the levels to watch for. I said if Snow makes it past 190, it's going for 200. It went up to 205. I told you if we pass 190, 200 was in play, and we went up to 205. So what about now? What exactly is going to happen with Snow? Well, that was a huge move by Snow, and given this market environment, you need to look for Snow to give that back up, especially with this candle right here. This is not a good candle, okay? So what I'm looking for Snow this week is that it's going to take a while to probably give back some gains or even fill this gap unless we have some super bearish news that comes out on Snow. But what I want to look for with Snow this week, I want to see within the next 2 to 3 weeks, actually, let's give ourselves some times, is that I want to see Snow retest 183. That is the gap up level. So this is where it opened at on Thursday. But it still has this huge gap right here. So I don't think we're going to fill that gap necessarily yet. But I'm looking to short Snow to 185 just to be safe. And I will exit position and just be of callous watch from there and wait for us to retest that gap low. I don't expect it to retest that gap. I mean, to fill that gap the first time and test this level. I'm expecting it to take maybe like 2 to 3 chances. So be careful on Snow, but I am short Snow for the next 3 weeks. So for this week in particular, let's see what we can get from Snow if you're wondering. So like I could be more accurate with you guys, okay? So I am looking for Snow. I am looking for Snow to make it back to this level right over here, 185. 185, 190. So we want to remember when I told you guys that if it gets above 190, it can go to 200. So I want to use 190 as support. So for this week, I'm looking for 190. So let's see what happens. A new play I wanted to talk to you guys about, and this is the last play we'll get into today. I know it's been a long video, so we'll cut it short after this. But I wanted to throw in a new chart, and I made sure that I did not chart NIO, didn't touch it because I wanted to do this with you together. The charts, the TAs that you see is TAs from the last time I played NIO, and I I like NIO honestly. It's in my long term portfolio. I was happy that it dipped. So we're gonna go ahead and chart this up together, guys, and we're gonna figure out exactly what we got going. Okay. All right. So I gave it 3 touches. 1, 2, 3. I'm not saying you do, but that's exactly what I did. So we're gonna just go ahead and clean this up together. Okay. I'm gonna take these out of here. We're starting from the weekly, and then we'll work our way up from the daily, and then to the hourly. And what I'm trying to figure out is exactly what kind of trend do we got going on here. All right, so I like this one right here, right? We have a downward wedge going on here, and first thing that I've noticed with NIO, just looking at the weekly, I see inverse head and shoulders playing out, and this being the head right here, shoulder, and shoulder over here. So, but another thing that I did notice is that we dropped down over here, but we didn't make a new low, as in like testing this trend right here, and we're consolidating. We went back up, and now we're consolidating. So I can see NIO going for this level right here, 25. But this is actually very bullish. I like the setup for NIO. Price target for the next 3 weeks. I am looking for 25 bucks. And I will tell you exactly why. So let's go ahead. We charted our weekly. Now let's get into our daily. Let's see exactly what we got going on. Okay. So we're doing some nice consolidation over here. So let's dive a little deeper. Okay. Let's take a look. Yes, I like this. So I'm going to use this consolidation period to figure out exactly what's going on. We're going to start with the 4 hour right here. And I just want to draw some trend lines. I like to use, when I trade, I like to use, wow, look at that close. Look where it got rejected at. Impressive. So when I like to trade, like for instance, like a NIO stock like this, I tend to look at the trend. I use my MAs, but I also use the super trend. I love using the super trend. It's not for everybody, especially if you just look at the candle and you be like, oh, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. Nah, I don't use it for that particular method. I use it as another support or resistance. And you can just look at this channel, and I expect NIO to make some bullish moves. Okay, so what I'm expecting from NIO is I'm expecting it to make a higher low, meaning that we do not retest this level right here. And let's dive deeper again. Okay, so we got our little channel right here, but I want to dive deeper. Let's see what happened this week. Okay. So we have this upper trend that's going on, right? And let's get a little chart going on with it, okay? So that's exactly what you're looking at with NIO. What we want to see is that we want to see a higher low. So I mean, if NIO touches this level right here, 19, which is pretty much not that bad. Like I would be a buyer. So watch NIO for 19 this week. If NIO touches 19 bucks, you should probably jump in there and play for the upside. I don't think I'm ready to draw a trend line up, but if I did, it will probably be no, I'm not ready for this particular trend line right here. I will leave this just like this because I don't see any. Um, I think Neo needs to consolidate some more. But if we're looking for a level to get above, that will be uh, a Friday's high, which would be I think it was 21 bucks. So we need to get above. Oops, sorry about that. We need to get above 21 bucks on Neo. And I think it's this candle right here. Okay. And that pretty much makes sense too, because look at that. Every time it touched that line, it pretty much gave up. So we need to see Neo start a channel working its way up. So yeah, this will be our channel right here. We can go with this one for the week. And honestly, I want to see how it opens up tomorrow. Um, but this is our line. This is what I'm looking at for Neo. Let's dive out a little bit more. Yeah, you can see like this level was some serious resistance, and yeah, we need to get back above that level, so we can make it back to this channel right here, which is on the 4 hour. So like I said, you could see Neo drop down to, maybe 1950. Where did it close the day? It closed the day at 1981. So it's not like that big of a dip. So just be cautious with Neo. I am looking for a break above this level right here. So like we have some serious resistance over here. But anything above 22, I would definitely go long. But for Neo, I want to stay on the sideline. The chart definitely looks bullish to me, but I would like to see it above 21.50, 22 bucks before I take a long position. So please be on the lookout for Neo. Um, and that's where we are going to end. For this week, I am bearish on SPY again, in particular for tomorrow. I see two different scenarios. I see more downside, or we can open up green, retest some of those levels that I was telling you about, and then reverse back. I do expect money to end red, and I do expect Friday to end red too. I do see we might have a big move tomorrow, and then another big move Tuesday, followed by a reversal, and then possibly another dip to the downside on Friday or Thursday. So that's exactly what I see for this week. We got our levels on SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple. I gave you the levels. Our TAs were so accurate to the T. So I do hope you guys please drop a like, subscribe, and join the fun with Talking Stocks with B. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I would appreciate you guys can subscribe to the channel. Like this is a new channel, and I am trying to get things popping. So let's get it, people. Thank you for watching. See you next time.